What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and man, that was fast. We are already talking about the modifications that are likely going to be made to the Build Back Better bill, and this is your stimulus and infrastructure bill update. Now, take a look, you guys. We're seeing articles coming out like this today. Paid leave, immigration, what's likely to be changed in the Senate as they weigh the Build Back Better Act. Now, I'm going to be diving into this article that's going to give us all the details. As we're hearing that in the Senate, we literally need all 50 Democratic senators to get on board to pass this through. Every single one has to vote in favor, including Senator Joe Manchin, Senator Bernie Sanders, left, right, across the board, all Democrats have to be on board. And we actually have an interview I'm going to be sharing with you from Jon Tester, one of those conservative Democrats in the Senate, and he's going to be discussing what's going to be unfolding with this bill. And as I mentioned, also the details of what is likely going to be changing as we progress forward with this stimulus reconciliation bill. So I'm going to dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. And also, if you missed my last video from yesterday, you might want to check it out, as if you're interested in stimulus checks. We're hearing that there's a lot of states that are taking those leftover funds from the American Rescue Plan that was allocated for them to use for their state residents, and they're passing their own stimulus packages, and many of which have stimulus checks. And I get you caught up on the latest on checks, what states are doing it, eligibility, all the details. And also, just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support on this second channel that's going to be launching, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in growing wealth, learning about personal finance, investing in real estate, stocks, cryptos, starting businesses, consider joining the second channel. I'll pin a comment down below with a link. All you got to do is click it. It'll take you to Steve Ram Finance. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. And when we launch closer towards the end of the year, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really great. A lot of content on growing wealth and personal finance. But right now, let's get you caught up on what's happening with stimulus, the Build Back Better bill, and how things will be changing as of today, November 22nd, 2021. But first, do me one quick favor, and that is just simply smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That's the best way to get a hold of me directly by far. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's get you caught up on the latest with stimulus. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out today. I always cite the sources for you so that way you can see them for yourself. And it says, paid leave, immigration, what is likely to change as the Senate weighs the Build Back Better Act, and a number of provisions may be revised or removed to meet the rules and keep all 50 Democratic-caucusing senators together. Now, the article says that President Joe Biden's safety net and climate change package passed the House on Friday, and we saw that. I shared with you the breaking news as soon as it happened, and it goes to the Senate next, where it's likely to be changed before it can become law. And we're already taking a look at some of the changes that will likely be taking place. Now, some of the provisions of the $1.68 trillion bill may be removed or revised to win support of all 50 Democratic caucusing senators, from blue state progressives like Bernie Sanders, and he was one of the ones that wanted to see more stimulus checks, reoccurring monthly checks, unemployment extensions, but he's had to compromise down, all the way to red state moderate senators like Jon Tester and Joe Manchin, who have said they're okay with no stimulus because they're concerned with debt and inflation, and they're willing to compromise and pass something, but it has to be to something that they would agree upon. Now, other policies could be thwarted by the Senate rules as well. Now, there's going to be some changes, said Tester on Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press, and we're going to be taking a look at that here shortly. We're dealing with reasonable people here. I think we can come up with a bill that's a very, very good bill that works for states like Montana and other states in the union. Now, the Senate is expected to turn to this legislation after it returns next week from Thanksgiving recess. Now, before it can vote on it, the bill will require a Byrd bath as well, which is a process named after the late Senator Robert Byrd, under which provisions are scrutinized for compliance with the arcane budget rules. It will also require a vote-a-rama, allowing virtually unlimited amendments, during which Republicans will seek to remove or edit provisions and force politically difficult votes. So just to clarify, we still have a bit of a process before this is going to pass, and currently the arrival date of this bill for passage we're hearing is by Christmas in the Senate, and hopefully then by around the new year. It'll be signed into law by President Joe Biden, and the provisions and the assistance will be able to go out sometime during 2022. So that is the current schedule. And also, we're going to get into the details of each provision that could be on the chopping block. But first, let's take a look at this interview that took place with Senator Jon Tester yesterday.
You're going to be, the Senate now has the president's Build Back Better. It's now up to you guys. Is this a pass anything that can get 50 votes? I mean, is that where we're at this point? Or are there some, hey, I'm only going to support this. You know, if this gets taken out, I can't support this bill. Where's your head in this? And where are the Democrats' heads?
Well, yeah, look, I think we have a great opportunity here to do some great things in childcare and affordable housing and in climate and lowering prescription drug costs and healthcare costs overall. And I think we can do it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think people need to be open to compromise. And I think if we compromise like we did in the bipartisan infrastructure package, where we had 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans that, argued and fought and came to a bill that would work, I think it's the same thing within the 50 Democrats, too. We don't all see the world the same way. So let's negotiate, and let's come up with a bill that lowers costs for families and cuts taxes and gets things done to help move this economy forward so we can stay the premier power in the world. China wants to supplant us. Yeah. If we don't tend to business here, they could do that. So this Build Back Better is an important piece of legislation.
So it sounds like you're going to be a supporter of it, regardless of what it looks like in the details?
Oh, no. It's going to come over from the House. There's going to be some changes. I'm going to compare it to what Montana needs, and that's going to be where I focus on. But look, we're dealing with reasonable people here. I think we can come up with a bill that is a very, very good bill that works for states like Montana and other states in the union.
So there you have it, Senator Jon Tester, and he said he believes that we're going to get this passed. He's optimistic and that we're dealing with reasonable people here. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on that, but let's take a look at some of the provisions that are currently on the chopping block in this bill. And first up, we have paid leave, which we're hearing will cost about $205 billion, according to the CBO. But Senator Joe Manchin has said repeatedly that he does not want this policy included in the bill. And in an appearance on MSNBC this Monday, he said that the Build Back Better Act is not the right place for this piece of legislation. I believe in family leave, he said, but he cautioned that it would add an awful lot to the debt and suggested that Congress find a better position for this and do it in a bipartisan way. And unless Senator Joe Manchin backs down, it's very likely that this piece of legislation could get stripped out of the Build Back Better bill. Also, SALT deductions. Take a look here. The House-passed legislation would raise the $10,000 limit of state and local deductions, sometimes known as SALT, on federal returns to $80,000. And a group of Democrats in high-tax states demanded it to win their support for the bill. But take a look at this. Jumping down, it says the House provision faces resistance from senators including Tester and Sanders, who say that the $80,000 level gives too much of a tax break to the wealthy. But others, like Bob Mendez, feel strongly about it, and the Senate may have to approve some expansion of deductions to get the bill to Biden's desk. Also, immigration. The House bill would grant provisions, work permits, to about 6.5 million undocumented people in the U.S. under a process known as parole, at a cost of more than $100 billion over the next decade, as estimates from the CBO. But it is high priority for progressives and members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. But it's unclear that the policy will comply with the Senate budget rules. So we're not even sure if this is going to make it for the Senate policy, for the rules to get passed in the bill. Now we will see. And also, Medicare benefits. Sanders has successfully pushed to add hearing benefits to Medicare in the House-passed bill, but he says he still wants dental and vision coverage too. Now, the 3 additional Medicare coverage has been a high priority for him and progressive allies from the outset of the negotiations, and he has not given up. The American people overwhelmingly demand that we expand Medicare to cover dental, eyeglasses, and hearing aids. That's what we must do, Sanders said in a statement Friday morning. Now, there are challenges, though, adding that benefits would be expensive, particularly dental coverage, and it is a lower priority for many Democrats who prefer to put health care money towards ensuring more people through larger Affordable Care Act subsidies and filling the Medicare gap. But if the removal of other items creates fiscal space for the Medicare benefits, they could come back into play as well. So that is the latest on the provisions we're hearing are on the chopping block on the Build Back Better bill. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's okay to get rid of these? Do you think any of these are high priority? Do you think there's any other modifications that should be made to the bill? Let me know, but I will be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel, and it's very likely that as we go through the holiday weekend, before the Senate comes back, we could be hearing a lot of suggested modifications similar to this, as they're going to be getting ready to pass this through, and hopefully here they're saying by Christmas, so they're going to need to get to work on this right away. And I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.